Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. I am so glad you're here. My name is Christy, and I make cleaning, organizing, and home decor videos. If you like this video, then I hope you will hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. This is the third video in my Christmas decorating series, and it's a step-by-step breakdown of how to decorate your Christmas tree. I have 10 easy tips you can follow to make your tree look festive and special. You don't have to follow every tip, but I hope you get some great ideas and inspiration to make your tree look amazing. Okay, so tip number 1 is the tree type and size. There are all different kinds of trees to choose from, whether you like a real or artificial tree, a flocked or not flocked tree, or a full or skinny tree. Look at your space and determine where you want your tree to go and what type and size of tree you want. For instance, if you have 20-foot ceilings in your living room, then you can afford a taller tree, versus if your ceilings are only 9 feet tall, then you should stick with a 7.5-foot tree or smaller to allow for a tree topper. For example, if you watched my last video, then you know I added a new tree to our living room this year in the space between our TV and couch. Since this is a small space and I didn't want to block the TV, I chose a slim 7.5-foot tree. But in this space, I have 6 feet of floor space and 20-foot ceilings, so I can put a full 9-foot or even taller Christmas tree here.
Last year I thought about how things can come around just like that if everyone is here to celebrate one day.
Tip number 2 is to fluff the tree. I like to take this section by section, layer by layer, and touch every single branch to make sure my tree looks full and all the holes are covered. Always start at the bottom and make your way up. The fluffing part is very important for the artificial tree because it's been sitting in a bag or a box for the last year, so all the branches are smushed down. When fluffing, I like to work from the back to the front of each layer. At the back of the section, I will pull the branches straight up, and as I get closer to the front, I will start spreading the branches out. This helps fill the middle of the tree when the branches are pointed up, and when the front is fluffed and overlapping with the other pieces, your tree can hold the ornaments and decorations. Also, if you have a brand new tree and the branches are really stiff, you may want to consider wearing gloves while fluffing the tree. They make gloves just for fluffing, or you can use any type of rubber or latex glove. Now, tip number 3 is very important, and that is to test your lights before you put together all the sections of your tree. Now, our tree is 4 years old, and some of the lights are starting to go out on the tree. I can fix this problem by adding more lights, but you don't want to get all the sections of your tree up and realize that none of your lights work. Do you see that first bottom section there? The lights were not working when I first plugged the cord in, and my plan was to have my husband twist this section of the tree around since the back section was working, but they randomly came on later this night. My next tip is to split your tree into 2 sections and fluff and decorate them separately, so when you're done with both, you can add the top section to the bottom section and your tree is done. Now, I suggest that you buy another tree stand to hold up the top section of your tree, but my base was large enough that it stayed up on the ground by itself. Now, why I recommend this is because I cannot tell you how many years I pull out my 6-foot ladder to decorate the top of the tree, and I can't reach where I want to fluff, or I don't have the arm reach to attach the decorations. This way, I was able to add the topper and all the ribbon and other decorations very easily before my husband added the section to the tree.
Ups and downs, but when there's love, there's always a way. And oh, this time of year, we come together to celebrate. Yes, every time the snow is falling down and it is cold outside, we gather around the fireplace and no one cares about yesterday. My favorite holiday, it means so much more than words.
Tip number 5 is to add more lights. I ordered these cluster lights from Amazon and I'll link them in the description below, but they added so much light and dimension to my tree this year. Now I did have some sections where the lights didn't work, so that is one of the reasons I added lights. But also, most pre-lit trees have lights attached to the outside of the tree and not the inside. So by adding lights to the inside of the tree, it makes a huge difference. I ended up using 3 boxes of lights, and each box was 49 feet of lights. But remember that my tree is 9 feet, so you can definitely get by with 2 boxes for 7.5 feet or less. You start at the bottom of the tree and weave the lights in and out of the branches. I started at the front and then went all the way to the middle of the tree and continued that around. The good thing about these lights is that they can either connect to one another or you can plug them into an outlet. I was able to detach the plug-in part so I could connect each cord to the next. My next tip is to add your topper. I use picks or stems as my topper, but you can use a star, bow, or something else, and the same idea applies. I want to add the topper before I start decorating this section of the tree so I don't mess up any of the decorations. All of my stems are from Hobby Lobby, except the last stems I use, which are from Kirkland's. You can see all these selections in my Christmas Shop With Me. Tip number 7 is to add ribbon. Now here is where you give your tree color and personality, not to mention texture and dimension. I suggest at least 2 different types of ribbon for a 7.5 foot or smaller, and then adding a third or even more if your tree is 9 feet or taller. I'm using gold and red ribbon, and then I will add in the plaid ribbon pieces later as fillers. So I'm following that same format I did in my first Christmas Decorate With Me video when I decorated the office tree. I'm wrapping the branch around the ribbon to keep it in place, then pulling the ribbon out and back in to tuck in the tree and repeat the process. I'm going to use the full ribbon and cut as needed, but you can use pre-cut pieces of ribbon or even shorter pieces of ribbon so you don't have to twist it around the branches. Now I'm going to make a decorative filler for the tree with ribbon. These strips are pre-cut to about 36 inches, and I'm going to keep a piece out as the tail and make 3 to 4 loops, then leave another piece out. After I have the shape I like, I'm taking floral wire and using it to wrap around the base of the loops to keep everything in place. After it's secured, I can go back in and pull or fluff the loops so it's the exact look I'm going for. Then to attach it to the tree, you take another piece of floral wire and wrap it around where one of the tails meets the loops, and then twist it around the branch until it's secure. My next tip is to add picks to your tree. These are the different colors and styles I'm using for my tree. Keep in mind they make long and short picks depending on the size of your tree. For my 6.5-foot office tree, I use the shorter picks, but for the 9-foot tree, I'm going to use the longer picks so they actually stick out from the tree since it's deeper. So now I'm going to take my picks and add them to fill in any holes or gaps in the tree.
It's cold outside, but the fire keeps us warm. We can spend the night underneath the mistletoe, and I've gotten you.
Tip number 9 is to add your ornaments. This box holds all our special ornaments or any breakable ornaments, and this container holds my shatterproof gold ornaments I'm going to use on this tree. The next tree I decorate, we will pull out all the sentimental ornaments and use that to decorate and all the ornaments the kids have made over the years. I can't decide if we're putting that tree in the playroom upstairs or in our bedroom downstairs, but stay tuned for that. These will also be used to fill in any holes or gaps in the tree. My tip here is to add the ball ornaments to the inside of the tree and not hang them on the branches in the front.
A present that I put under the tree. Tomorrow it is Christmas, the first for you and me. The snow is falling down and the storm is on its way. But as long as you're around, everything will be okay. 'Cause all I wanna do is spend this holiday with you. Tomorrow it is Christmas, the first for me and you. I've longed for this moment to have you for myself in a cabin out in nowhere, just us and no one else. I've decorated everything till we're perfect for this week. Tomorrow it is Christmas, the first for you and me. Another year went by, but the difference this time is that ever since July, I've been happier than I have ever been. It's safe to say that my love for you is true. Tomorrow it is Christmas, the first for me and you. I've longed for this moment to have you for myself in a cabin out in nowhere, just us and no one else. I've decorated everything till we're perfect for this week. Tomorrow it is Christmas, the first for you and me.
Now we're going to add the top section to the tree.
Cause all I wanna do is spend this holiday with you. Tomorrow it is Christmas, the first for me and you. I've longed for this moment.
I purposely left a row of lights so I could go back in where the two sections meet so the tree appears, one in one uniform look. My ribbons were also slightly off, so I'm going to fix that as well.
Tomorrow it is Christmas, the first for you and me.
And the last and final tip is to add your tree collar, skirt, or blanket to the bottom of your tree. I'm using this rattan basket looking collar under this tree, but I also have used a blanket in the office. Here is the final look of the tree. I hope you got some major inspiration from this video and can use a few tips and tricks when decorating your own tree this year. My next Christmas decorating video will be the upstairs part of the house. We will add small trees to my kids' bedrooms, some paper houses, and our nativity scene to the playroom, and either add the Christmas tree to the playroom or set it up in our bedroom. I want to thank you guys for being here with me today, and I look forward to seeing y'all in my next video. Bye!